Welcome to the Tarot by Ralph podcast. All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Ralph from the Tarot by Ralph podcast. What we're going to start doing for the next 78 days is going through every card of the tarot, one card at a time. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to go through the major arcana first, and then work our way down through the minor arcana. Just talk about one card a day for the next 78 days. And this is going to be focusing on basic meanings, really, for people who are just beginning the study of tarot or just getting into the art of tarot reading. And today we're going to start out with the major arcana. And the major arcana, that stands for the major mysteries in life. Either the major mysteries or the major spiritual powers that we have to work with, but which a lot of people are blind to because they don't really know. I mean, these powers are not blatantly obvious, but these are powers that we can tap into and use once we become aware of their existence. And the major arcana is kind of differentiated from the minor arcana because the minor arcana is more concerned with the powers that are more obvious, you know, the material powers and other powers that we are more aware of. But the major arcana has to deal with the more hidden mysteries and mysteries that are, you know, more powerful, but yet mysteries that a lot of people are just unaware of. And so with that said, let's get into the first card of the major arcana, which is number 0, the Fool. Now, the Fool stands for new beginnings, fresh starts. It can actually refer to a soul just taking birth into the material world. And if you have the tarot deck available, you can look at it. And in most depictions, the Fool is shown as being a young person. Could be a man, could be a boy, could be a girl, actually. Kind of androgynous character in most tarot depictions. But a person who is just merrily walking along and is about ready to fall off of a cliff, it looks like. And the Fool is carrying a bag, which is, we don't know what's in it. And the Fool is also carrying a flower of sorts. And by the Fool, a young dog is dancing around as if to perhaps warn the Fool of the impending danger, or maybe just merrily going along the same path that the Fool is treading. And when we see the Fool as possibly being a representation of a human soul just taking birth in the material world, it really makes sense when we see this person depicted as getting ready to jump off of a cliff. Normally, you know, in the material world, that would be something that you don't want to do because it's the way to end your life. But in a spiritual sense, we're thinking about a soul descending from the spiritual realms and coming down to earth. This depiction of the Fool getting ready to blissfully step off of a cliff really begins to make sense. And that's the way I like to understand the Fool, as a fresh soul or fresh energy emerging into the world, descending from above, descending from the spiritual realms and seeking full manifestation in the material realm. And so when you see the Fool, when you're doing a reading, when the Fool comes up in a reading, sometimes people will say, okay, this represents foolishness, stupidity, things like that. But it can also, in a more positive way, represent fresh energy coming into an old situation, the birth of something new. And it can literally mean, if you're doing a reading for someone that wants to become an expectant mother, or maybe is an expectant mother and doesn't quite know it yet, the Fool can literally mean a baby is on the way. But the interpretation always depends upon the question, upon the reader's intuition, and, upon a variety of factors. You shouldn't take just one textbook meaning and make it fit every situation. But yeah, the Fool it can literally mean a baby is on the way, or the birth of a baby. It can also mean just time to start a new business, time to look at an old situation with a fresh set of eyes, time to bring new energy into whatever activity one may be focusing on. So there we have it in a nutshell. The Fool. New beginnings, new energy, a fresh start. What kind of meanings do you see in the Fool? It really depends upon the question, upon the situation, and upon your own intuition. And don't forget, whenever you're doing a tarot reading, don't be afraid to use your own intuition in the matter. Okay, it looks like we're going to wrap this up in about 7 minutes. So yeah, kind of a short podcast today. But yeah, there you have it. Now, tomorrow, we'll be talking about the next card in the Major Arcana, the Magician. Until then, take care, have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.